Welcome to Sinister Heroes. I'm your host, Dan Iniquitous. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, this is a channel about Dungeons and Dragons. We're trying to take a darker tone with everything we do here. So if you like edgy kind of content, definitely like and subscribe. A big thank you to our Patreon supporters. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. What you do is amazing. We can't give you guys enough credit. You guys are absolutely a big reinforcing thing for us in our beliefs in the channel and what we do here. And a big thank you to our good friends at Critical Failures for being part of a live stream game that they allowed us to be in every Wednesday night. The link to both of those is in the description. Check out the Patreon. And with all that out of the way, we're going to talk about the Beastmaster Ranger. Oh yeah, we're doing it. Alright, so the Beastmaster is a very difficult to understand ranger as far as development was concerned in its original creation. Now it is wildly tricky. There's a lot of things to it, and there's two different advised copies or revised copies, I should say, to it. One of them is in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and the other one was an Unearthed Arcana that I had put out in order to correct it. That being said, there's a lot of misguided information out there and misguided opinions about it. So we're going to try and do our best to be diplomatic and try and kind of sort through and give kind of what our best opinion is and kind of our hope for the next D&D iteration and what they fix with this. With that being said, let's jump right into it. It came out in the Player's Handbook, and when you hit 3rd level, you had an option to gain your Ranger's Companion, where you got to choose a beast that was medium, that was no larger than medium, and had a challenge rating of 1/4. Again, you kind of need to know every monster in a monster manual in order to make the best choice for you. And the beast would obey your commands. It takes its turn on your initiative. You kind of worked it in tandem with you, so depending on what you were trying to do. The issue is, if you wanted your beast to attack, you would have to use your action to make it attack, in which case you couldn't attack. Once you had the extra attack feature, then you can make one attack weapon, one weapon attack yourself, and then the second attack be from the beast. And you would kind of work like that. The beast would act, however you decided necessary once you went down, and it would main focus would be to protect you. And if the beast dies, you had to spend 8 hours magically bonding with another beast that isn't hostile to you, either the same type of beast as before or a different one. That was the base one, and that was purely dependent on which beast you chose. Some were better than others, but there were a lot of options out there. And as campaigns evolved and more campaign books came out and more monsters came out, you then had more beasts. So it gained a lot of confusion and difficulty. Now, some of their attacks were stronger than a regular weapon attack. You'd have to really look hard to find it. And some of them had additional things that they do. I think the giant frog would be able to eat somebody. There was a lot of things that you could pick from. But Tasha's came out, and they gave you the Primal Companion feature, which is where you magically summon the beast. And it could be either land, sea, or air. And depending on what they were, they would then fit within that thing. They could have flyby if they were flying, so they didn't provoke attacks. They still followed the same format of using part of your attack. Beast of the Sky had 4 + 4 times your ranger level. Beast of the Sea had 5 + 5 times your ranger level, but it was terrible on land, but you could only really use it in the sea. Again, kind of really terrible. Beast of the Land had 5 + 5 times your ranger level, and it had a 13 plus your proficiency bonus natural armor for all of them. Here's the real issue. Now, I don't normally cover Unearthed Arcana, but I think Unearthed Arcana had a great option for it. Now, I can't remember accurately if it was a bonus action to cause your beast to attack or not. But one of the things was it limited the beast you could choose from. But every time you gave ability score increases, the beast gained ability score increases. So you could increase their damage with their attacks as you went forward because it wasn't based on your proficiency bonus. So their damage didn't get stagnant. And then later on, you either gain other abilities that work in tandem to kind of make that better. So just spin those plates for a little bit and bear with me. I'll get to kind of like my explanation and reasoning for that once we just get through all the skills. So at 7th level, you gain exceptional training. On any of your turns when your beast companion doesn't attack, you can use a bonus action to command the beast to take the dash, disengage, or help action on its turn. In addition, the beast attacks now count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. That's great about this level is when everyone's getting magic weapons or monks are getting abilities to supersede their regular physical attacks, breaking through those resistances. At 11th level, you gain Bestial Fury. When you command your beast to take the attack action, the beast can make 2 attacks, or it can take the multi-attack action if it has that action. And then at 15th level, you gain Shared Spells. Beginning at 15th level, when you cast a spell targeting yourself, you can also affect your beast companion with the spell if the beast is within 30 feet of you. So things like Zephyr Strike would put additional damage onto your attack, would really, really benefit you. Now, the reason why I kind of got to get through all of that to kind of put this all together is I think between the original Ranger's Companion, where you got to pick any beast, and the availability for it to level up with you, was really the best way for it to work. And I say this because if you pick something like the Giant Poisonous Snake and you were a Yuan-Ti Ranger, yeah, that's it. That's my Ranger. Making those work in tandem works out, but the way you got to build them is very, very specific. You have to do a dual wielder build. So that way you can attack once, have your pet attack, and then bonus action attack again. That works out to your benefit. Simply because it gives you the most attacks and ends up increasing your damage going a little further. Because the beasts get stronger with you. They don't stay within that kind of format where your proficiency bonus just ups whatever it is, like it does in the Unearthed Arcana. But with your Ranger's Companion, you had your proficiency bonus to the AC attack rolls and damage rolls. That being what it is, if you add on those extra couple of damages or these extra couple of ability score increases, it really makes your Beast Companion that attack. It brings up the base and adds your proficiency bonus to it. It makes it nasty. And I mean real, real nasty. But considering how the Ranger is so underpowered without the newer subclasses, like the everything that came out in Xanathars, like the Gloomstalker, and everything after that, like the Fey Wanderer, or the Planner Warrior, the Horizon Walker, or the Drake Warden. All those kind of really put a lot of extra abilities onto it. I do feel like the Drake Warden is a better version of the Beastmaster in a lot of ways. My hybrid between the regular and the UA kind of probably puts the damage up pretty high, and I'll probably get a lot of people disagreeing with that kind of working together. But before those subclasses came out, the Ranger was laughed at almost because of how poorly it was received, and this subclass was the reason why. Taking things into consideration and removing that from actual gameplay, and like just that concept from character creation and actually being in gameplay with this character, you could do better than most people think. You'll never do those super min-max numbers, because those super min-max numbers you have to be super specific in order to do, and you won't make them without an equally specific build. But this will give you enough damage to be on par with most everything. But you have to kind of make the right choices and really do your homework, which requires a lot of real studious activities and diving into that monster manual and working with your DM to make that stuff work. That's the issue. It's that homework and seeing beyond what was written. In practice, you do get a tremendous amount of variety with what you do. I happen to like, again, a Yuan-Ti because it's poison oriented. And a Giant Poisonous Snake, simply because the Giant Poisonous Snake has a reach of 10 feet. And on top of that, it does have a poison add-on, depending if they make the save or not. So you could be in melee, and you could have that thing behind you or around you, because it doesn't match up in HP to you once you get to higher levels, and then that reach attack makes a bigger difference. Throwing on things like Hunter's Mark and all that, and then later on, if you put on Zephyr Strike, yeah, sacrificing that one bonus attack but you still get to drop on that regular attack that adds on that Zephyr Strike damage, compensates, and then your pet gets to do that. That's a pretty big boon. It's a very, very unpopular class. I feel like it got a really bad vibe right off the jump street, but the classes that required more knowledge and studying and really workability and a greater difficulty to put together well were all kind of seen that way, and the ranger just got the worst end of that stick. Granted, there have been a lot of changes. The Tasha's changes that give you the beast of the land, sea, and sky were greatly appreciated by the community, and they tend to feel like that finally fixed it. And in a lot of ways, a lot of people feel more comfortable with that, and I think that really, really works. Again, I want to use my really cheesy build that makes my characters get insanely strong without having to do anything crazy. But it's one of those classes where if you're the kind of player that wants to do that theme, that you want to be Dritz or Dritz-like, or just be someone that just dual-wields scimitars and has a alligator running around with them, it's fun. And it's worth it, and you do get to play both the player and the animal. So I think that really kind of balances out. I don't think it's such a bad character subclass. I really don't. And I think the Ranger, especially after Tasha's, got significantly better with Favorite Foe and things like that. The Beastmaster Ranger! Definitely comment and let us know what you thought, if you've played it, if you've had any of them in your party, because I think it's a totally overlooked thing, and maybe, from my experience this was one thing, but from yours it was better or worse. Definitely want to hear from that. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate from this video, but sometimes that's okay. Big thank you to our Patreon supporters. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and a big thank you to our good friends at Critical Failures. We're part of a live stream game. Check us out on Wednesday nights. The link to both of those is in the description. And thank you for giving a spooky kid a chance, and thank you for giving the Beastmaster Ranger a chance.